Well, this is the earliest version we have of the borough charter of Annan. This particular document is dated 1783, although the charter, if I turn back here, you can see that it's a probative registered charter by James VI in favour of the borough of Annan, and it actually dates from 1612. The earliest charter we know of dates from somewhere around about 1340, and it could even have been as early as Robert the Bruce's time. He died in 1329, and that's the first charter we know of. And what this charter does is say what rights the king is granting to the borough. And if we look up here, you can see, first of all, it says, in unum liberum burgum regali, in each free royal borough with omnibus terrace, etc., that's all the lands, and so on and so on. And then you get, at the end of that, and piscationibus, that's the fishings. And then it tells you about the fishings themselves. So, with salmonum piscationi, with the salmon fishings and other fishings, half nets, Haafis, that's Scots actually, and it says that twice, we don't know why, I think it's a mistake, possibly.
So this was the later charter, so presumably all the previous charters also refer to the fishings, which showed you how important it was even way back then.
Well, the 1539 charter certainly referred to the fishings. It just didn't go into the bit of detail that we've got in this charter. But absolutely they'd be important, and I'd be very surprised if they weren't in the very first charter from the 14th century. Unfortunately, we don't know what that said, because in nearly all the boroughs where there was fishing, it was mentioned as part of the rights of the borough, because it was very important to them, income-wise, and for the livelihood of the folk who lived there.
Do you know how old or when the Annan Common Good Fund actually originated?
Well,
the reason I ask that is because we know that the major contributor to the Annan Common Good Fund was income from the fishings.
Yes.
But I'm personally not quite sure how far back that goes.
Common good was instituted, even if it wasn't stated specifically, when the borough was instituted.
Right.
So that's how far back common good goes. It was part of the rights of the borough held under the king.
Graham, you'll be familiar with the Annan riding of the marches, and we ride a distinct boundary every year, and have done so for hundreds of years. Does the old archive actually delineate where that boundary is?
Yes, it does, and that was very important. You get all the northerly end, the north end of the borough, places like Warmanby mentioned in here, and then it comes down to the Solway where the fishings were, and it mentions various features down there, including the altar stane, which is still well known today, and there it is, Adlie altar stane, infra aquam de Solway, in the waters of Solway.
The altar stone is still highly symbolic. Lots of the fishermen have engraved their names in it, and that goes back hundreds of years.
Yes, yeah. And well, there's one of the reasons that it was a boundary marker as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it marks the easterly boundary of our territory, but where the channel actually moves north above the altar stone, then what happens is both the Scottish side and the English side of the channel become Annan property.
That's right.